We are on a mini vacation. I have been struggling to figure out what to do with my life in general for like a few months now, like outside of my work. I'm not normal. I don't read fiction books on vacation. I kind of like to do something that's gonna like improve my life while I have like a clear head. And I picked up this book, Managing Oneself, and I was just expecting like a typical like business read basically. But this book has genuinely changed my life. Essentially what this Peter Drucker says is that like we think we know who we are and what our strengths are, but actually we don't. We tend to like work on the things that we're bad at, and then we forget to like think about our own strengths and how those strengths can help us in our career, business, life. So I've just been feeling like I don't know really where I'm going with things. And I've been like trying to listen to my intuition, but also like not listening to it. And then I picked up this book. Basically, the book is just about like understanding yourself so you understand where you actually belong. And I really resonated with it because basically Peter Drucker used to work in investment banking in like the 1930s, he said, and he left because he valued people. I was like, oh my God, I literally left New York and I left finance because I valued people. And it was like the values of the organization were basically in conflict with my own personal values. And therefore, like I couldn't really perform at my best. The more that I understand myself, the more I don't judge myself for making certain decisions. Because lately I've been a bit like struggling and just like judging decisions I've made and like, why did I make these decisions? Did I even have a thesis for like why I decided to leave Goldman and why I left Wall Street? And now that I'm kind of like carving my own path now and just really understanding who I am, this book is like amazing, literally amazing. I genuinely just picked it up and I didn't know it was going to be like literally this small. I thought it was like a legit, 300-page book, but I'm so happy that it was this short. And I was just on vacation and like, I think I was needing a vacation because I was feeling a bit like stuffed and just stuck, even though I know that I'm not. It's just this like energy is stuck in my body and just needed to like move and do something totally different. So we've been by the beach and then now just another like chill spot to vacation. I've learned so much in the past 24 hours, like things that I genuinely think I should have learned when I was in college, because it would have helped me pick a career or like a life that really fit who I am. What this book did for me is I basically realized I've been focused on things that I should or shouldn't be doing. When I studied abroad in Singapore, I took a class on like the East versus the West and the differences. And it essentially said that in the West, people tend to work on their strengths. And in the East, people tend to work on their weaknesses. What's very interesting about this is that essentially he's saying that like we don't know our actual strengths and that what we think our strengths are is actually not what it is. Asking questions like, how do I learn? Like, do I need to write things down all the time, or do I kind of learn by talking things out? Like I learn from talking. I will sit alone in a room and just talk through things. And by the end of it, I'm like ready to take exams and stuff. That's how I've always been in high school, college, everything. It worked so well for me. Are you a listener or are you a reader? So I know for me, I'm a reader. If I read things, I really digest them and understand them. But if I just listen to them, sometimes it goes in one ear and out the other. I like to like sit with the information and really feel it. And so instead of forcing myself into these boxes of how other people are, I'm beginning to understand who I am through this book. This is genuinely like, I can't recommend this enough. I did not expect this from reading this. And I basically was feeling pretty stressed, overwhelmed about like, where's my life going? Like, what is my next step? What's my next move? And just from reading this, I'm already like, I'm just dropping all of these assumptions about who I am. And like, I genuinely can't recommend this enough. I was buzzing yesterday because after I was reading this, I'm like, oh my God, like this makes sense. And then this makes sense. And I've always been a reader. And now like, I don't need to like watch videos on how to do things because the truth is I'm not listening. So basically, if you've ever been stuck or feeling like you don't know why things aren't working because like you're smart and you're capable, but you're just confused, like why is this not aligning in the ways that I thought it would? And if you've maybe experienced anything like what I've just shared, I would read this, or I would just spark note it, or I would just ask ChatGPT, like ask me the questions that are asked in this book and just answer them for yourself. Like, Are you a reader or a listener? How do you learn best? Are you an advisor or a decision maker? And what are your values? I love this part that he says in the book. He basically says, too many people work in ways that are not their ways, and that almost guarantees non-performance. So if you're like struggling in a field or something, you're just wondering why things aren't working, it might be because you're just working in ways that are like not your native or like true essence ways of being. And I have like basically changed my entire view on like what I'm gonna do next in my life, because I'm like, oh, well, no wonder these things didn't work, because like that's not how I work. Like, and it's also like, do you work better? Are you like a loner, or do you work better in teams? And I'm like, okay, I do work better in teams. Like I need people around me to like bounce ideas off of and stuff. So anyway, these are some of my takeaways and things that I've learned. This was like the most fruitful vacation ever, because I've also been learning how to slow down and chill. I think I've said this multiple times in many of my videos and many of my vlogs. I just don't know how to chill. Like I struggle to like slow down and just enjoy the moment, because there's like so much I want to do and so much I want to see in this world. I've just had the best vacation ever because of this book, which is insane. And I had no idea. I genuinely thought it was going to be like a really boring one that I was going to fall asleep to within 30 minutes. I'm like halfway through and I've already answered like 8 questions about who I am. Let me know in the comments if you've ever experienced anything like this before. And if you want to watch my video on when I left Goldman, you can watch that here.